rush and coverage working together, right? And we put it up there like a beautiful union. Like, look at pass rush and coverage working together, because we're trying to show. That's what we say. You know, this is how it works. This leads to that, and that leads to this. So it's all tied together. You know.
So you graduated Cornell in '87.
Yes.
There was like a year or two gap before you got into coaching.
Right.
What did you do?
I was in the business world. I worked for Prudential, and I spent time, you know, making money, good money, like any good Ivy League graduate. You know. I was tired of being poor. You know, I knew I wanted to be a coach, but I was tired of being poor. You know, grew up inner city, and you know, just wanted to put my Ivy League degree to use, but that time out of football, I spent like I'd drive up to like a high school practice field, you know, and kind of be in my suit, just like looking outside the fence. Something that might be frowned upon nowadays, but I was smelling the grass, you know, smelling the grass. Like, I grew up inner city, so I started playing football when I was 6, and football saved my life. I mean, delivered me from a really tough situation, and it was the coaches. That's why I coached, because it was these guys who were cops and firemen and plumbers and roofers, and they coached, and they used to tell us, "Oh, we're going to your school, and if you don't get A's and B's, or if you're not, if your conduct grade is not 100%, I don't even know if they use that word conduct anymore. You know, you're not going to be able to play." And all I wanted to do was play. I'd sit on my little stoop. You know, if we had one car, we were lucky. So my mother would have to, like, because I'd freak out. Like, if coach said to be there a half hour before practice, you know, I'd have my little helmet and I'd be waiting, and she'd have to find a way to get me to the field. But there was no grass where I grew up. So my memory of football is like, well, I went to football like that fresh cut grass, because there was no. So I was like, oh. So that year out of football, like, I'd be driving by and I'd smell grass and I'd be like, oh, we go over to the field here and see what these guys are doing, you know. And that's why the guy I played for was a guy named Maxie Bond, who you may not know, but look up, All Pro, you know, player, played for Georgia Tech and the Eagles, and you know, legendary NFL guy. I played for him at Cornell. He called me in his southern accent. He's like, "Boy, I got a job for you." I said, "Coach, I have a job. I'm making a lot of money in the business world." He said, "Yeah, but I can give you $3,000 a year, and you live in a basement, and you get free meals in the cafeteria." And I said, "Sign me up." I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it." And you know, fortunately I did. I mean, you know, I had literally had a dream that I was, because I was on track, you know, making money in that world, and I had a dream that I was all of 30 years old, and I didn't take a coaching opportunity, and then I wanted to be a coach, but I couldn't because it was too late, and I was making too much money, and you know, I had kids and all that and responsibilities. So fortunately I took it when I didn't have any you know, responsibilities. But I also thought, hey, if this doesn't work out, I'll go to law school, you know. I'll go get my MBA or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, I wasn't that uptight about it, but I definitely felt like it's a vocation more than an occupation.
I have a feeling you would have been fairly competitive as a broker.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I competed, you know, definitely competed, but I also gained a lot of weight. I mean, I was, you know, I mean, you're living that life. I mean, you're up and entertaining and out all the time and working. It's not the healthiest lifestyle, but I don't know if coaching is either. But I mean, at least you're around the weight room and around the players, you know, and that kind of thing.
You know what you should be.
Yes,
doing.
you should be. I mean, nutritionists and all that, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of started to paint a picture of the home you grew up in. I'm curious about that. I'd like to know more about it.
You know, my dad was a cop in Philly. Nobody went to college in my family, and you know, it was tough. I mean, it was a tough area. It was you know, inner city, and you know, lot of money, and gunshots and all that. And I took a test to get into a private school to earn a scholarship to go to high school, but then I took the subway every day. It's just And
At what age?
Oh, I was a freshman. That was when I started taking the subway when I was a freshman. But you would, you had a paper route starting at when I was in the 4th grade. I had a paper route, and in the morning, and you'd be walking around, in some tough situations. It really it affects you. It's probably why I picked Cornell, because I was. I had a chance to go to some other Ivy League schools in the city, but I wanted to go to a college town. I knew enough to say, nothing wrong with the city, but I want to go to a nice, safe place in a college in a college town. So I'm happy in Stillwater. I don't have to be in the big inner city life. I live that for sure. I enjoy being in a college town. And I use that in recruiting, my background like that, when we're recruiting kids in the inner city, like, don't you want to go to a place where you can just be a college kid for a while, and you can look back on those years as being some of the best years in your life. And plus Cornell is the only Ivy school that has an ag school, so I fit in pretty well at Oklahoma State. We had a vet school at Cornell and all that stuff too.
How far was your subway ride from where you lived to your high school?
I took a bus. I would have to take a bus, and that would be about, half-hour bus ride, and then the subway would be, like another 20 minutes. So it was probably like an hour commute. But we didn't have any grass at my high school, so my high school, we would take a bus to the practice field to play football. And then you would take a bus back to school, and then you would have to then get changed and do all that, and then walk to the subway. So you'd be at night, you'd be taking the subway back. So those were some tough nights, and you saw some interesting characters in the street too.
But you had to recognize it sounds like to do all that, you had to know that could potentially be a life-changing.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Even
I went to St. Joe's. Yeah.
Freshman.
Yeah, I went to St. Joe's school, St. Joe's Prep, and that was 99% of the people who went there went to college. You know what I mean? And thankfully the nuns in the Catholic grade school I was at recognized, that I had some academic skills. So they said, hey, you need to go take this test to try to get into this school, and I was just around a completely different mindset. People came in. It's a really good school. So people who had money would come in from the suburbs to go to school there.
Yeah.
And it's just you just open yourself up to a new way of